If you're ready to take back control of your health, you're in the right place. Welcome to Awaken Wellness with me, Tanya Candy, registered nurse and health coach. Now, I'm not your typical nurse. I consider myself divorced from traditional healthcare. I broke free of the sick care system in 2019 when I realized that the root cause to my sickness, my autoimmune disease, and my chronic pain was me. If you're ready for truth, for clarity, for honesty in a tough, love, compassionate way, I'm the coach for you. Join me while we dig into our root causes of sickness and disease. Okay, I'm here. I got the button clicked. How are you this evening? Hello, it's Nurse Tanya from Awaken Wellness. I am doing some practice testing here. Thank you for being with me. Just give me a little grace here. I have been trying to figure out how to stream over on Instagram from here. And I think it's on. All right, I am streaming. But those videos they never save. So I can see there's a couple people on Instagram. So I want to say hi. My comments are super delayed. So if you're here on Instagram, wave, say hi. Super, super delayed. But that makes me happy to know that that works, but they never seem to save. So if anybody's got any tips on that, I'll gladly take them. I'll gladly take them. So I have been starting this thing. So on Thursday evenings, I am doing interviews and I've just done a couple so far. I am aspiring someday to do a podcast. I think it would be amazing. So I'm working on my interview skills. Now, my guest tonight was unable to be here, so that is a bummer. But I'm going to tell kind of my end or my version of her story or our story together. So, her name is Haley. Um, I had posted some pictures like leading up, prompting this, and she just had something come up. She was not able to come on. So I'm going to go back and forth a little bit, and we're going to talk about cellular health. We're going to talk about fertility issues and kind of like what has come to be normal and in our society, like little things that people have really just kind of gotten used to putting up with, and it's super sad, right? So I have to look because this is kind of it's nostalgic for me. This was when Haley actually she didn't come to me. I came to her. It was in 2023 in February. So we're kind of coming up on that anniversary. I Haley's pretty quiet. She's if you know her, she's pretty quiet. And for some reason I knew she had some fertility issues. And back a few years ago, February 2023, I had some experience being a cell core practitioner, some experience being a functional medicine practitioner. So I am an RN by licensure, and I have a functional medicine office, so functional medicine practice. And I hope that's not going crazy for you. There's something goofy with my laptop screen. I just got it fixed not too long ago, and it keeps doing this thing. So sorry if that's giving you guys some interference. You're probably seeing it as well. But anyway, Haley, this was back in 2023. I myself had partnered with Cellcore Biosciences. I had started using the products on myself was having amazing results with my health. Like, I had a lot of fatigue, a lot of autoimmune disease, and things like that going on. So, I had done a lot and I was better, but it was when I brought Cellcore products into my practice and started using them myself that I was like, whoa, now this is legit, right? These products are different than anything I have experienced before. So now I gotta look at my other screen again because this is so cute. I was going back and looking at Haley and I's like first kind of conversations. So I knew she had some financial stresses and things like that. And I to kind of honestly to build my faith, right, in what I was doing, I reached out to her and we talked a little bit about her fertility issues, and she had just kind of given up. She didn't want to or couldn't afford to go like the drastical medical um, route or approach to try to help herself or to get pregnant, to have a baby. She had some things going on, some polycystic ovary disease, which we know means some liver troubles. It means some insulin troubles, or maybe you don't know that if you haven't had any um, functional introduction or you're not kind of in that holistic round. Maybe you don't know that. So these hormone issues, they really have very little to do, in my humble opinion, with your female hormones. They're really more about your liver and your toxic load, right? So when she filled out her paperwork back in February 2023, I got to put my glasses on again. And I just, in the paperwork, it says, what are your expectations of how I might help you, like from natural holistic? And she said, and I quote, I don't have a ton of expectations. I really hope it works, but not expectations. What are your goals for wellness? To get pregnant or to start ovulating? So, and then she says nothing else has worked. So that is kind of where we were at. Now, it just brings a smile to my face, right? Because even as a practitioner, I absolutely am not a fertility expert, but I know that when we remove toxins, when we remove parasites, when we support the body and enhance mitochondrial function, that the body will heal. I honestly don't care what's wrong with you, whether it's fertility issues or autoimmune disease or cancer of some sort. It really doesn't matter to me what the problem is. In a sense, we fix all the problems the same way by pulling the weeds, by removing the stressors, by removing toxins. And the really fun part of her story is so we started working together February 21st, 2023. And she, let's see, looks like we did step two twice. I'm just looking back to see like what we all did. But that was in February. And then by February, May, June, February, March, April. So by 3 months, May, she had taken home step two. Yeah, we did step two twice and a little extra liver work. And then I didn't see her anymore because you can't take these products when you're pregnant. So how fun is that, right? Like it took 3 months and then, well, I didn't get to work with her anymore because you can't take antiparasiticals when you're pregnant. So that isn't that amazing? Like, I need some comments. Who's here? Who's watching? Are you amazed by that? Like, even when I think back on it, it's one, we have to be operating under God's will and in God's timing. So I am not going to take credit, and I haven't shared this story a whole lot because I don't want to take credit for the amazing things that happen when we remove toxins and when we support the body, because I don't wanna take the blame when they don't work, right? Because things don't always work. We have to be operating in God's will. We have to be operating in God's timing, right? And this was God's will for her to be a mom, for her husband to be a father. So that was just really cool. And when we talk about how did this work? So when we did some lab work, we did some blood work, and things didn't look too shabby, right? Like her net labs were pretty normal, but they were very void of hormone. Like she just really was not making much hormone. So why is the ovaries not producing yet she's got a diagnosis of polycystic ovary disease, right? So why? Like why are these things not working? And then um what else was there? I don't really remember. She definitely had some gut issues throughout her life, has had some gut trouble, has had some dental trouble, that kind of thing, right? So, but not that big deal. So we just started. She was awesome. She was awesome. I ask everybody who comes in um, to start avoiding the 7 inflammatory foods. So if you don't know what the 7 inflammatory foods are, you can go to my link in bio, and I've got a little just click, and it's a download, and it'll give you a little follow the 7 inflammatory foods challenge. So that's just where I started. That was it. That's where I start with everybody. I used to start with food allergy testing. So right out of the get-go, everybody did food allergy testing, and I've learned that it is a good approach clinically, but it kind of scares people a little bit. Like food is really emotional. So when we do food allergy testing, there might be 30 things that I'm asking you not to eat for oh, potentially an indefinite amount of time. And that's a really intimidating. And frankly, my client retention was not the best when you start there, when you they don't even know you, they don't even hardly trust you, and then just boom, on the door, you want this chunk of money for food allergy testing, and then you take all their food away. So that's hard. That's really hard on client report. So anyway, she did like I ask everybody to, and just avoid those 7 inflammatory foods. And she did amazing. Like she would be over at the grocery store shopping and texting me, "Is this okay? Is that okay?" And really, really did her job. Like when you're healing, when you're working with me or a functional practitioner, the food part is so important, and it's a lot of work. Like she earned this pregnancy. Like she had to change a ton of stuff. She had to pull back a lot of things that she was doing, and she did it. And she got the reward. She got the reward. She got that little one, right? So it's worth it. And maybe your goal is not pregnancy. Maybe you're trying to get off medication, or you're trying to get rid of your type 2 diabetes label, right? Anybody can do that if you're willing to do the hard work. Like the way I operate, the things that I ask people to do, they're not the easy button. It's not the easy button. It is not for the weak at heart. If you can't do the work, then you end up on the drugs, on the medication. And that's just how it is. So I'm trying to think, like what else? Like that was kind of it. Other things that you can do if you've got fertility problems, or if you've got polycystic ovary disease or hormone issues, the heart of it is blood sugar, blood sugar, blood sugar. What you're eating. You've got to balance your blood sugar, and a lot of people, like, they're not getting the big picture. You go in with polycystic ovary disease and they want to push you on metformin. Like that happened to my daughter when she was with me when I started this walk, with a different perspective, and she herself was needing help. She was just in her 20s, maybe even 19, and was suffering so much with cystic acne. It just kept getting worse. Like it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And um then she too this was before she was married. She was told she probably had polycystic ovary disease without even blood work, like without even really properly testing her. And they offered her metformin. And I'm like, no, no, we can do better than that. And that, like I say, was when I was first just getting my eyes opened to a different perspective. So I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we caught my daughter at the point that we caught her. She had irregular cycles, basically no cycle, and her all through high school, she's a major, major overachiever. The girl ran on potato chips, chocolate, and stress. But she loved her stress. She loved her athletics. She loved getting good grades. Like she loved that, but it was all very stressful. So your liver, though, that acne she had, that polycystic tendency, that that is your liver is jammed. Now for her, we haven't done the MTHFR mutation testing, but I've done it. I'm her mother. I have those gene mutations, so there's a good chance that so did she. And low stomach acid is part of it. So that betaine, we need that for methylation. We need that for detoxing. We need that to keep parasites out of our intestine. Just we need stomach acid. And so when we're running on stress, for one, your depletes your stomach acid. Um, these people are young. They probably weren't on proton pump inhibitors. Honestly, I think Haley had been, even as a young person, was having some of that reflux issue, was having some of those problems. So when we think about the big picture, and then as females, oh my goodness, I'm so glad I'm past that stage. But the toxins we're inserting into our bodies every month, those are female hygiene products. Oh my goodness. Nobody wants to smell, right? But the chemicals that are sprayed on there to avoid those smells are absolutely part of the problem. They're dysregulating your hormones. Like terrible things are happening because of these toxic hygiene problems. It's a thing. It is a thing. Now, again, I am not a fertility is not my expert field, and I'll say it again. I honestly, it doesn't matter what is wrong with you. We're gonna fix it the same way. We're gonna fix it by detoxifying a cellular level. We're going to open up your liver. We're going to open up your kidneys. We're going to make sure you're pooping, open up your colon and get it all working right. And we're going to get rid of the parasites, and we're going to kill the weeds. We're going to balance the bacteria, and the body fixes itself. Like, I don't care what's wrong with you. Your body was designed to heal. So, and we always want to keep in mind that it's not the supplements that heal you. Your body heals you. You still have to do the work. You have to figure out what your stressors are, regulate your stress. You have to work on movement. Your body needs movement. Like, it's a lot of work to gain back your health. But it was that lazy, lackey, just do what's normal that got you unhealthy. So one, you have to first really recognize that the root cause of the The way down deep root cause of your health condition is you, my friend. You are the root cause. What you're doing, your body is only a product of the environment in which you expose it to, what you eat, what you breathe, what you think, what you put on your skin. All of it matters, and it starts and it ends with us. So we don't have to do it perfect all of the sudden, right? But like with Haley, if your goal is to get pregnant and you have been told by the medical community that that is never going to happen, you're going to have to do some stuff different. You're going to have to do the work. And she did the work. I helped. I helped. Cellcore Biosciences helped, but she did the work. Her body did the work. Now, a big part of the issue, the underlying issue, is your mitochondrial health, right? So, in basic biology, basic science class, they led us to believe that you like had one mitochondria like per cell. Even as a nurse, like I kind of would have probably said, yeah, you have a cell, you have a mitochondria. Well, the truth is, my bangs are goofy. The truth is, outside of your red blood cells, your cells have hundreds, if not thousands, of mitochondria per cell. Your brain, where we get your brain fog, your heart, your major muscles, they have the most. But you have to have that cellular energy. You have to have that mitochondria working so your body can produce hormone. You have to have cholesterol so your body can produce hormone. Like all of these things work together. There's no independent system in your body. It is all like a Swiss watch. It all works together. So again, this is the simple of how I helped Haley help herself to get pregnant. We, step one, raised her mitochondrial function, so got her cells charged, got her colon open, so made sure there was no constipation. We woke up her kidneys, we woke up her liver, we used some advanced TUDCA, we got that liver going, got those pathways open. She did the work. She avoided the 7 inflammatory foods, top one being no sugar, no dairy, no eggs. And she raises, that's what she does for a living. She raises farm raised eggs, farm raised dairy, right? And so she's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No eggs, no dairy? I'm like, no, 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 not until we get this thing fixed. Why? Those are small proteins. They leak into your bloodstream when you have leaky gut, and then you have an inflammatory response. It just has your inflammation and your immune system worked up all day, every day, cleaning up these food proteins. When we stop them, one, a lot of people, jealous, like a lot of people will lose 7 pounds in 7 days. Remove those 7 inflammatory foods, and you potentially can lose 7 pounds in 7 days. Again, I have got a link in bio. You just go there to that whatever platform you're watching me on or watching this video, they all have that link in bio thing. And I've got a PDF that you can print out about those inflammatory foods. Why you lose 7 pounds in 7 days is because you just deflate. It's not true weight, but just like you weren't wearing that true weight, it was inflammation, it was water weight. So when we remove that, our body just poof deflates, right? So those are easy pounds. Like then you might struggle to lose another 5, another 10, but that deflation is nice and it happens fast. Your rings will be too big. You'll see it in your neck and your face especially. So that that is a side bonus if you're watching this video, right? So back to Haley. She did the hard work. She put the time in. she put the work in. And like I say, in a few months, she was pregnant. And she should really come back and talk to me. She never did finish her parasite cleanse. She just got busy being a mom. When you're pregnant, when you're breastfeeding, it's a no. We don't detox, we don't parasite cleanse. Breastfeeding, you don't get to detox because your breast milk is a excretion pathway. So nope, nope, nope. But she needs to come finish me. She or come back and see me. She needs to finish the job so she can be a healthy mom going forward. But that was super exciting. Like I say, it's been some time. It's been a few years ago. And her and I were always going to get together and tell the story. And then she wasn't able to come tonight. So we'll have to replan the video so we can get her input and her side of the story. But the moral to the story is, I guess, I don't care what's wrong with you. I don't care what your condition is. If you are willing to do the work, to make the changes, if you're willing to work with me or a practitioner like me, it might take 6 to 9 months to a year's worth of more supplements than you think you can stand. You will have to financially invest. You will have to commit. You will have to give up sugar. You will probably have to give up gluten and dairy. Um, Maybe not forever, but until you're better. You don't have to necessarily get across the finish line. For the majority of people, um, if you have chronic stuff, we definitely need to work one on one. But if you have, just kind of losing your energy, or you're just kind of curious about a detox and parasite cleanse, I always tell people, you at your age, if you haven't done a deep cellular level cleanse, like for with Cellcore, it's a minimum of 4 months, and then oh, we do some follow up and put your gut back together, right? So if you haven't done, like, people say they detox, they don't, like, I hate that word. It means something different to everybody, and most people, it definitely doesn't mean to me what it means to most people. For me, it's deep. It's deep cellular level mitochondrial deep. So anyway, if you're whatever age you are and you haven't done a deep full body detox, you're like your age of a vehicle that's never had an oil change, right? When we detox, we have to clean out that bile. Your bile gets old and sludgy and full of toxins, especially if you're constipated. Like, if you're constipated at all, my friend, you are so toxic. Like, it's a big thing. If you're constipated at all, you're so toxic. So many people, with methylation issues, the MTHFR and the other gene mutation issues. When that's the case, then you're extra toxic. Like, you're really not getting these things out of your system. Your body stores your toxins in your fat cells, in your liver, and like, your thyroid is, a squishy, fatty place. So, like, a lot of people, especially women, and even me, like, I have not arrived by any means, right? My body still doesn't want to lose weight. So to me, that still means my liver needs work. My pathways are still not as open as they need to be. Now, on paper, my enzymes have never been elevated. My blood work has always been fine. That does not mean you're fine. When you go to the doctor, you get your labs done, and you were there because you didn't feel fine, but you get your lab work back and they say, you're fine. And you say, but doctor, I don't feel fine. And they say, well, sorry, we can't help you. Come back when you're sicker. Like, come back when you meet the qualifications for medication. Like, That's not the answer that we need, right? That is not the answer that we need. So again, if you are counting calories, if you're dieting, if you are doing everything, basically starving yourself and still not losing weight, that's because your body is like, girl, you couldn't get rid of those toxins in the first place. No, like your body won't let go of fat. One, if your hormones are screwed up, but two, if you're not methylating, it couldn't get the toxins out in the first place. So you have to do the liver work. You have to open the liver before your body is going to release the cellulite or release the toxins. So I know I'm preaching to the choir. I have got to keep on it. Keep on it. You have to be careful when you have Hashimoto's thyroid, like I do, or thyroid issues. I love to intermittent fast. I really do, partly because eating is complicated when you're trying to eat healthy. So it's easier to eat less because there's less food to worry about, right? But my body, I'm learning, sees that as a stressor. So there's a marker called reverse thyroid, reverse T3, that from a functional perspective, we like to see what that number looks like. When we check thyroid numbers from a functional perspective, we do it this deep. When your doctor checks it, they do it like this, like this tiny little bit. We go deep. And what's really important to me, especially with my thyroid, always looks fine on paper, but my antibodies are off the chart. The medical realm, they would never check them because the rest of it looks fine. But the autoimmune disease, right? That part with that Epstein Barr, where my body's trying to clean the Epstein Barr out of my thyroid, my body's not attacking me. Autoimmune disease? No, no, my body's trying to protect me from the Epstein Barr virus that lives in my thyroid. It's not trying to hurt me, it's trying to protect me. But I need to do my best to reduce my body's stressors. And I'm learning that intermediate fasting, even though I love that, I love it, my body sees it as stressful. So, some protein in the morning, even if I just do collagen or creatine or something like that in my coffee, then my body gets a little protein and it doesn't feel stressy. It doesn't feel that stress shock, right? And even with adrenals, I make sure that I get some good minerals. I always do first thing in the morning before I do anything else. I do my distilled water and I do the 3 pinches. So I do the politically incorrect borax, right? I mix equal parts in a just little mason jar of borax, baking soda, and Celtic salt or Redmond salt. And then every morning I take 3 big pinches like that and put it in my water, get mineralized. Then I get my vibration plate. And then if there's enough time, I get on my rebounder. And then I allow myself to do the coffee with some sort of protein paired in my coffee. So with adrenals, like our adrenals don't appreciate it if that's boom, you just get out of bed and punch it with caffeine. That's a stressor. So when we have things going on, we have to do our best to reduce some of these stressors. Right. There's a few people over on Instagram. I love that. So on Instagram, it's super delayed. If you do have comments, I can see them there. My next mission is going to be to figure out how to get this video to save over on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, give me a wave or a comment and make sure that you can hear me. Like I have it turned off so it doesn't mess my computer up, my audio up. But this is really in the playing around phases, trying to um, do all this. Yeah, and the Instagram is so delayed. It's funny. So nobody's waving at me over at Instagram, so maybe they can't hear me. But I think they would tell me in the comments that they can't, if they can or can't hear me. Oh, how about anywhere else? Is anywhere else here and listening? This streaming, it's difficult. You got the whole camera 1, camera 2, where should I look? What should I do? But if you were here live or on the replay, I really appreciate you being here. Um, I'm probably done talking on this subject. I hope in the future, Haley will come on and she'll tell her part of the story. We'll see if her part of the story and my part of the story match. But the original conversation, if you jumped in live, we were talking about fertility issues. So 2 years ago, when Guess I don't remember when it was I first started using Cellcore Biosciences, but it was in 2023 in February when I helped her out with some Cellcore products and we did some detox work and supported her mitochondria and did some parasite work. And she only got through step 2 and had to quit because she got pregnant and you can't do parasite cleanse when you're pregnant. And she had gone years with infertility and kind of just, given up. She wasn't going to do any extreme medical measures and whether that I don't know, honestly, if that was just a personal choice or a financial choice or what. They had kind of, I think, made peace with it. And when I first started this, I was reading her expectations when she filled out her paperwork, and she said, "Well, I'm not expecting much." She had kind of really lost hope. So I am super glad that the Lord used me to be part of her answered prayers. That's what's so special to me to what I do is that prayer covering. That's always just my prayer is Yahweh, that's the word I like to use. Yahweh, use me to be an answer to somebody's prayer, to bring to me the people who are called to walk with me or who I am called to walk with on their healing journey. Sometimes that walk is short and sometimes that walk is long or a lifetime. Sometimes the journey is quick and miraculous and you get results like Haley did. And sometimes the journey is hard and there's a lot of thorns and a lot of weeds to pull and it's blood, sweat and tears for both of us. Everybody's healing journey is so unique, so unique and so your own. And if you're watching and maybe at some point long ago or even recently you had come in and you started working with me and you didn't make it, if there's something that I can do to help you, please let me know. I do appreciate that everything that we do from a natural standpoint, it is a financial burden and you really have to invest in you. It is hard work to eat right and even just to avoid those 7 inflammatory foods almost seems impossible, but it's not. It's really not. Once you get in the habit, once you get in a groove, when especially if your family, your spouse, your partner is supporting you, um, I didn't say that um, Haley's husband, he did not end up doing the detox with her. However, the more I learn from my mentors of people who are more fertility experts, many of them won't work with just the woman. They want the man as well to walk through hand in hand through that detox. More and more, it is a sperm problem. And they say more and more that those losses, those miscarriages, really go back to sperm issues and it goes back to toxins. Toxins are a big thing, even for sperm, for how long you're going to carry the pregnancy. So all of that. Now, um, again, I help anybody who walks in my door. I don't, really have that niche, or there's nobody who I won't try to help, because I absolutely believe your body, every body was created to heal, and they will heal when you remove what the Lord did not intend to be in your body. The toxins, the trauma, the thought. We do emotional work, we do all of that. So, no, I'm not a fertility expert, but I do believe, especially if the road has been long, if there has been miscarriages, we have got to detox the husband as well. We've got to detox the husband as well. It is a thing. It is absolutely a thing. Um, and do I have tests? Do I have studies to back it up? No, no, I absolutely don't, because these aren't the kind of things, um, who's got the money to put out these studies? Those studies are put out, follow the money. Studies like that are drug companies, right? They're not holistically, who's got the money to study these things? Where my information comes from is from my peers, from other practitioners who they're walking it out in practice. They're seeing it from real time, real feedback. Where you see this kind of stuff is in your Facebook groups, in people's reports, people talking to each other, people figuring this out. Same in cancer, holistic cancer. Everybody's sharing their stories, sharing their testimonies, sharing what works. It doesn't matter what the subject is. When we share, when we communicate, that's the studies I want to know about. I want to hear it from other people. And of course, we're all bio individual. Not one thing is going to work for everybody, but there's a lot of things that are worth trying, like giving up the 7 inflammatory foods. I don't care what's wrong with you. You will feel better. Your energy will be better. You will lose some water weight. 7 inflammatory foods. Challenge yourself to do it for a week. You can get through a week, right? Anybody can get through a week. Then take your week and add on to it. And then take that week and add on to it. Every day, just try to do something a little bit better. You can do that and make a better choice. You might make a bad choice, but make a better choice to go along with it. All right, that's it, folks. I'm wrapping up. If you are here on the replay, please comment, please like, please share. I am not a full time social media creator. I am a little lady who works full time, a lot of hours, just trying to help people heal their body. So, support my small business by liking, by sharing, by commenting. I appreciate you.